Life hits you with pain. The first instinct we have is to run away from it, to numb it, to bury it under distractions, to pretend it doesn't exist. But the truth is, the more you deny pain, the louder it screams. The more you hide it, the deeper it roots itself inside you. You can put on a smile, you can tell everyone you're fine, you can convince the world you've moved on. But when the lights are off and it's just you and your thoughts, the hurt still sits there. And moving on isn't about pretending it doesn't hurt. Moving on is about allowing yourself to feel it, to let it hurt, to let it sting, to sit in that discomfort until it loses its power over you. You can't heal from what you refuse to feel. And that's the part nobody really tells you. People love to say, don't think about it, just distract yourself, go out, stay busy. But distraction is not healing, distraction is delay. You can't ignore a wound and expect it to close. If you break your arm, you don't just cover it with a sleeve and keep going, hoping it will fix itself. You go to the doctor, you feel the pain, you get it treated, you give it time, and only then does it heal. Emotional wounds are no different. But here's the thing about emotional pain. It feels like weakness to admit it. Society tells us to toughen up, to move on quickly, to stop crying, to stop caring. But that pressure doesn't make you stronger. It makes you colder, and cold doesn't equal healed. Letting it hurt is the first step because hurt is honest. Hurt is the truth that your heart is still working, that you still value what you lost, that you still cared. That's not weakness. That's proof that you were brave enough to love, to try, to give a part of yourself to something or someone. You can't skip that part. If you try to avoid it, the pain doesn't disappear. It hides and it waits. And months later, maybe years later, it comes back in ways you don't understand. It shows up as anger, it shows up as mistrust, it shows up as bitterness, and you wonder why you're so closed off. It's because you never let yourself hurt when it first happened. You locked it away. But moving on means unlocking it, letting it breathe, letting yourself cry, letting yourself scream if you have to. That's where strength begins. And I know you want the shortcut. We all do. You want to skip to the part where you're over it, where you don't think about them anymore, where the memory doesn't keep you up at night. But healing doesn't work like a movie montage. It's not quick. It's not glamorous. It's not something you can fake. Healing is messy. Healing is sleepless nights. Healing is waking up with swollen eyes because you cried harder than you wanted to admit. Healing is saying, I thought I was over this, but realizing you're not yet. And that's okay. That's normal. That's human. Let it hurt because hurt has a job. It's teaching you. It's showing you where the cracks are, where you need to pay attention. It's a signal, not a sentence. Hurt is temporary, but it's also necessary. Every time you let yourself feel it instead of fight it, you're loosening its grip on you. Every tear you shed is a release. Every journal entry you write, every honest conversation you have about it, every moment you admit, yes, this hurts, is a brick taken off your chest. Slowly, the weight gets lighter. Slowly, the sharpness fades. Slowly, you realize you can breathe again without it cutting. There's a difference between letting it hurt and letting it consume you. Don't confuse the two. Feeling your pain doesn't mean living in your pain. It means acknowledging it, processing it, and then giving yourself permission to rest. It means you don't have to carry the mask of, I'm fine, when you're not. You don't have to apologize for not being okay. You don't have to rush. Letting it hurt is an act of courage because it forces you to stop running and start facing. Maybe for you, the hurt is a breakup. Maybe it's betrayal. Maybe it's losing someone you thought you'd have forever. Maybe it's the weight of disappointment, the life you thought you'd be living but aren't. Whatever it is, stop minimizing it. Stop comparing it to other people's pain and saying, it's not that bad. If it hurts you, it matters. If it hurts you, it deserves to be felt. If it hurts you, it's real. You can't numb one part of your heart without numbing all of it. If you shut out pain, you also shut out joy. If you bury sadness, you also bury love. That's why letting it hurt is the gateway to healing. It's proof that your heart is still alive, still capable, still open. And yes, it's terrifying to sit with that. Yes, it feels unbearable sometimes. But pain is not permanent. It passes when you allow it to. The storm doesn't last forever, but you have to step into it to get through it. So let it hurt. Don't hide from it. Don't apologize for it. Don't rush past it. Sit with it. Hold it. Listen to it. Because pain is the teacher and healing is the lesson. And when you finally learn it, You realize the hurt didn't destroy you, it rebuilt you. You are not broken because you hurt. You are broken when you refuse to. Healing doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't come in one grand moment where suddenly everything makes sense and the pain disappears. Healing is a process, a slow rebuilding of your heart, a patient reintroduction of hope, a gradual recognition that you are not the same person you were before the hurt, and that's not a bad thing. Healing is not about returning to who you used to be. Healing is about creating who you are becoming. You've been through something that shook you, that scarred you, that changed you. And the person walking out of this is stronger, wiser, and more aware, but only if you give yourself permission to heal instead of forcing yourself to rush into the next thing or pretending you've already moved on. Letting it heal means giving yourself the grace of time. And time doesn't always feel like it's working. In fact, at first, time feels cruel. It feels slow. It feels like it's dragging your pain out longer than you can endure. But the truth is, every day you face the hurt instead of avoiding it. Every day you wake up and choose to keep living even though it aches. Your heart is stitching itself back together in ways you can't see yet. Healing is not loud. It's quiet. It's the way you laugh unexpectedly at something when you thought you'd never laugh again. It's the way you wake up one morning and realize you didn't think about them first thing. It's the way you notice beauty again in small details. The sunrise, a song, the smile of a stranger. That's healing. But healing also requires effort. Time alone doesn't heal all wounds. What you do with that time matters. You have to participate in your healing. You have to make choices that feed your soul instead of poison it. That means no more reopening old wounds by scrolling through their pictures, rereading old messages, or replaying the moments in your head on an endless loop. Healing doesn't mean forgetting, but it does mean not feeding the pain unnecessarily. If you broke a bone, you wouldn't keep poking it every day just to remind yourself that it hurts. You'd protect it, nurture it, give it what it needs to repair. Do the same with your heart. Part of healing is learning to forgive, not always the other person, but yourself. Forgiving yourself for not seeing it coming, for ignoring the red flags, for holding on too long, for believing in something that didn't last. Self-forgiveness is the medicine you don't think you need, but absolutely do. Because carrying guilt and shame on top of hurt is like carrying extra weight on a broken leg. You don't heal faster by punishing yourself. You heal faster by releasing yourself. Another part of healing is letting yourself grow through the pain instead of just going through it. Ask yourself, what did this teach me? What did I learn about myself? What boundaries will I set next time? How will I protect my energy better? Healing isn't about building walls, it's about building wisdom. When you heal, you don't harden, you refine. You come out softer where you need compassion, firmer where you need boundaries, clearer where you need direction. Pain can either leave you bitter or it can leave you better. The choice is yours. There will be days when you feel like you've made progress, and then one memory, one song, one place, one scent pulls you right back. And you think to yourself, I thought I was over this. That's part of healing too. It's not a straight line. It's a spiral. Sometimes you revisit the pain, not because you failed, but because you're still learning. Don't let those moments discourage you. Every time you face the memory and survive it, you're stronger than before. Every time you get through the wave of sadness and come out the other side, you've built endurance. Healing is not about never feeling the pain again. It's about being able to feel it without being controlled by it. And here's something important. Healing requires you to rebuild your relationship with yourself. Because pain often damages not just your trust in others, but your trust in yourself. You start questioning your judgment, your worth, your ability to move forward. Healing means reintroducing yourself to your own strength, reminding yourself of what you bring to the table, falling in love again with who you are outside of the loss. You are not defined by who left, what ended, or what broke. You are defined by who you are becoming while you pick up the pieces. So give yourself new experiences. Step outside the places that keep reminding you of the past. Try something you've never done before. Surround yourself with people who bring peace instead of chaos. Healing isn't about filling the void with someone else. Healing is about filling yourself with life again. It's about building joy that doesn't depend on anyone's presence or absence. It's about discovering that your heart is still capable of love, laughter, and excitement, even if it feels impossible right now. There will be quiet victories that nobody sees but you. The day you walk past a place that used to make your stomach drop and you feel calm. The day you hear their name and it doesn't sting. The day you smile at a memory without crying after. Those moments are milestones in your healing journey. Celebrate them. Don't overlook them because they seem small. They're proof that the pain is losing its power and you are regaining yours. Healing also means allowing yourself to dream again. When pain strikes, it shrinks your world. Suddenly, everything feels dark and hopeless, as if nothing good could come after this. Healing is slowly expanding that world again, letting light back in, allowing yourself to imagine a future that feels good, even if it's different from the one you pictured. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to know when or how you'll get there. You just need to allow yourself to believe that there is a there worth getting to. That belief is where healing takes root. And yes, healing takes time, patience, courage, and effort. But the beauty of it is that one day you'll look back and realize you've walked so far from where you started. You'll remember how heavy it felt in the beginning, and you'll see how much lighter you are now. You'll see how the pieces of your broken heart didn't just fall back into place. They rearranged into something new, something stronger, something more beautiful because it's been tested. That's the gift of healing. So let it heal. Don't rush it. Don't force it. Don't fake it. Give yourself the grace to go at your own pace. Healing doesn't mean you'll never feel pain again. Healing means pain won't control you anymore. Healing means you can breathe, you can live, you can love, without the shadow of what hurt you dictating your every move. Healing means you're free. Letting go is the hardest part, not because you don't know you should, but because a part of you still clings to what could have been, what you thought it should have been. Letting go feels like giving up, like surrendering, like admitting defeat. But the truth is, letting go is not weakness. Letting go is strength. It's the final act of courage in the process of moving on. It's saying, I choose myself over the weight of what no longer serves me. And that choice doesn't happen all at once. It happens little by little, day by day, until you wake up and realize you're free. The thing about letting go is that it doesn't erase the past. It doesn't mean what you went through didn't matter. It doesn't mean the love wasn't real, the memories weren't beautiful, or the lessons weren't valuable. Letting go doesn't rewrite history. Letting go simply means you stop letting history control your future. You stop replaying the same chapters when the story has already moved on. You accept that some doors are meant to close, some people are meant to leave, some seasons are meant to end, and that's not the end of your life. It's the beginning of the next part of it. One of the greatest lies we tell ourselves is that holding on keeps us strong. But think about it, when you hold on to a rope that's burning your hand, the strength isn't in holding tighter. The strength is in opening your palm and releasing it before it does more damage. Sometimes we cling to pain because it's familiar. We cling to relationships, even toxic ones, because we fear the unknown. We'd rather sit in the comfort of what's killing us than step into the uncertainty of something better. But healing demands courage, and courage means letting go. Letting go means releasing the what ifs. What if they come back? What if I never find someone else? What if things could have been different? The truth is, you could spend your entire life inside those questions, circling them like a maze, and you'd still end up nowhere. You cannot build a future on what if. You can only build it on what is. And what is true right now is that the chapter has ended. What is true right now is that you are still here, still breathing, still capable of creating a new life. What is true right now is that your story isn't over. It's just different. And yes, letting go hurts at first because it feels like you're losing a part of yourself. But over time, you realize you're not losing, you're gaining. You're gaining peace. You're gaining freedom. You're gaining space in your heart and mind for new things, better things, things aligned with who you are becoming. You don't have to carry everything with you. Not every person you meet is meant to stay forever. Not every situation you endure is meant to define you forever. Some things are just stepping stones. Some people are just teachers. Some seasons are just preparation. And once their purpose is fulfilled, the gift is in letting them go. The hardest part of letting go isn't always the person or the situation. It's the version of yourself that existed in that story. It's letting go of the dreams you built around it, the identity you tied to it, the expectations you held so tightly. You're not just saying goodbye to them, you're saying goodbye to who you thought you'd be with them. That's why it feels so heavy. But here's the truth, the version of you that belongs to your future cannot come alive until you release the version of you that belongs to your past. Every ending is also an invitation to evolve. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you erase the love, the memories, or the impact. It means you stop carrying it as a burden. It means you choose to hold it as a lesson, a chapter, a part of your story, not the whole story. It means you no longer let it define how you love, how you trust, how you live. You take the good, you learn from the bad, and you carry only what helps you grow. That's the power of letting go. It transforms pain into wisdom and loss into strength. And here's the beauty of it: when you truly let go, you create space for new beginnings. You open your hands so something better can be placed in them. You clear the room in your heart so peace can live there again. You allow joy to re-enter, not because the past didn't matter, but because you decided you matter more. When you let go, you stop waiting for closure from someone else. You realize closure isn't something you get, it's something you give yourself. It's the moment you decide, I don't need answers to move forward. I don't need them to apologize. I don't need to understand everything. I choose to move on because I deserve peace. The act of letting go is an act of self-love. It's saying, I won't keep reopening a wound that's trying to heal. I won't keep pouring my energy into something that's already finished. I won't keep sacrificing my future for something that belongs in my past. And the moment you make that choice, even if it's painful, you take your power back. You stop being controlled by the story and you start writing a new one. And yes, it will take time. Yes, you'll have days where the memories come back and sting. Yes, you'll wonder if you really let go or if you're just pretending. That's normal. Letting go isn't forgetting. It's remembering without reliving. It's allowing the memory to exist without letting it dictate your emotions. It's seeing the scar and no longer feeling the wound. And when you reach that point, you'll realize that letting go didn't take away from your life. It gave it back. One day, you'll look back on the things you thought you could never release and you'll smile. Not because it didn't hurt, not because it didn't matter, but because you'll see how far you've come. You'll see that the person who once couldn't imagine life without them is now thriving, growing, living fully. You'll see that the weight you once carried no longer defines you. And you'll be grateful, not for the pain, but for the strength you discovered because of it. So let it go. Let it go not because they deserve it, but because you do. Let it go not because it wasn't real, but because your future is more real than your past. Let it go because holding on is draining the life out of you and freedom is waiting on the other side. Let it go because you've already let it hurt. You've already let it heal. And now it's time to step into the part where you finally move on. This is how you really move on, not by erasing the past, but by releasing it, honoring it, and walking forward without its chains. You're not abandoning your story. You're just choosing to write the next chapter. And the moment you let go, you finally realize you were never meant to stay stuck. You were always meant to move forward. And now nothing is holding you back.